Lil Tay, who still needs to rely on antics to get views. Lil Tay was also one of the people that blew up during the 2018 Clout Chaser.
Man, she a fake-ass iCarly, bro. I know I ain't the only person thinking that, bro. She the fake iCarly. Fake iCarly.
He was facing charges of domestic abuse to his girlfriend, battery against his brother's girlfriend, and domestic battery towards his other girlfriend. In February 2025, he was arrested during a traffic stop.
How they be getting girlfriends, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be for real. You know you can't start over? You know you can't just start over, right? I hope somebody told you that when you first got these. Like, you got the Atlanta Hawks on your face.
Yo, Lulu.
Excuse me, bitch, I was running on my bag. Money on my shoulder, put designer on my ass. This shit too nice, but it's fucking up my head. So I be getting high, but I ain't popping fuckers in.
What? Dude, nephew, it's your uncle. Whoa. And I'm coming at you with some that we back to doing. Now, this video right here is coming from It's Blanco. And the last video I did from It's Blanco was the video on, what was his name? Dave Blunt's. And this one is going to be when going viral ruins your life. Now, I'm not going to waste no more time because she's not my wife. Just make sure you hit that like button for the algorithm. And Uncle Lou, make sure you share the video with somebody next. You hit that subscription with that notification muscle because we on the way to 10K at 2025. And you know, if you're not hitting this notification, how the heck you going to know when I'm going live? Now, Jit, we on TikTok. We be going on TikTok live too, man. So make sure you tap in. And the handles down below. Niecey, nephew, I don't got to say no more. It's your Uncle Lou.
Having a drug addiction to facing jail time to quite literally having to create a sex tape with your sibling for rent money.
What?
There's...
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh, we talking crazy. Yo, I found an entertaining streaming the other day too.
many people whose
Shout out Murder Show, bro. You're entertaining as hell.
lives have been destroyed by going viral and their 15 minutes of fame. We've always heard the term that all publicity is good publicity, because it seems like what everybody wants on this planet is two things: money and fame. A study done in 2023 revealed that around 57% of people between the age of 13 and 26 would become an influencer if they had the opportunity to do so. And after all, why wouldn't they? To most people, being internet famous seems to have endless perks. I know you, the person watching this video, has definitely thought about it. Don't lie to me, I know you have. But what about the dark sides of becoming an influencer that no one really seems to talk about? Today, we're gonna talk about them. So let's cut the bullshit and get right into it. Ghislaine Raza was a regular kid from high school with a love for sci-fi. He was helping his friends film a parody of popular movies, including Star Wars. When he was all alone, he filmed a video of himself swinging around a golf ball retriever pretending to be a Jedi, all for fun. He put the tape on the shelf of the basement in the high school studio, thinking that no one would ever see it. But a couple months later,
wait, why would you do that? Just take it with you.
Kids from his high school found the tape and posted it online. Within 2 weeks, the video started to go very, very viral, and he was deemed as the Star Wars kid. Now, this was in 2003, like years before YouTube even existed. The idea of going viral on the internet was a very, very new thing. This video spread in a way that like no other video ever has spread before. It was going crazy on websites like Kazaa, LimeWire, and Waxy, and considering that you guys don't know what any of those are, it shows just how old this video really is. It's estimated that this video alone did 900 accumulated views everywhere, which is insane. It became a very staple viral video and had a timeless legacy. What really made this video spread even harder was the excessive hilarious edits that people made of it. It was referenced in shows like American Dad, Arrested Development, Colbert Show, and I'm pretty sure you yourself recognize this video because
it's iconic.
But a lot of you guys probably don't know about the absolute turmoil this had on Ghislaine's life, because he wasn't really going viral for good reasons. People were laughing at how ridiculous this kid looked, thinking that he was a real Jedi. He got loads of comments that were making fun of his weight and calling him stupid. There were
Bro, everybody's done that though, like to some degree. Like you gotten up there. I remember being a jit, getting on the bed, but like being a jit, pretending I'm like Stone Cold Steve Austin because I got dang said so. You know what I'm saying? Smashing a like doing the whole thing, or Jeff Hardy, like doing the whole junk, bruh. And then I was swanton bomb my teddy bear. Come on,
Comments were
Lola.
even going so far as to tell him to unalive himself.
Lola
Remember,
never beat
again,
me.
this is when the internet was still
Goofy?
new, so people were pretty big dicks back then. But it wasn't just online where things were bad. His real life was suffering immensely. At school, he was being ridiculed and bullied non-stop. Kids were constantly mocking his movements and insulting him. And while it may have seemed like simple bullying, it got so intense to the point where he literally was not able to attend class. Eventually, he just straight had to leave high school and get a private tutor. But even when he left school, the torment just did not end. Reporters and news outlets were constantly knocking at his door begging for an interview, but he had no interest. They were calling his numbers so much that he had to turn off his phone. Geislin would go to a psychiatrist and officially be diagnosed with depression. To fight back, the family
Dang.
would sue the 4 students that
Really?
originally uploaded the video for $250,000 in damages. A year later, they would settle for an undisclosed amount. So how
Bro, this is so crazy to think about because what was that? Almost 20 years later, if this was to happen to somebody today, the way that they would flip it around for them, like low key, somebody would want that to happen to them today. It just makes more sense. Like it just makes a lot of sense.
much they actually got from the lawsuit, I have no
Back
idea.
then,
But
I
the
mean,
press
of
wasn't
course you don't wanna
all
get
bad,
made
though.
fun
There
of,
was
but-
some good stuff that came out of it. Star Wars fans would start a petition to get Geislin a cameo in the upcoming Star Wars movie Revenge of the Sith, but unfortunately never went through. But it was a nice act. But eventually there was a
Wow,
light at
where?
the end of the tunnel. 20 years later, Geislin actually would come to the public to talk about his own experience personally. The event actually inspired him to go to law school to become a lawyer. In doing so, he would help others who experienced the scrutiny of online harassment. There was even a documentary made on him called Star Wars Kid: The Rise of Digital Shadows. And in the documentary, he actually forgives one of the original bloggers who made the video so viral.
I have an enormous regret posting the video. I haven't talked to anybody about this.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Get the fuck out of here. That's some pussy ass shit. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Yeah, look, and I'm all empathetic and stuff for people's feelings, but bro, you got caught. You act like you got caught putting your freaking pole up your asshole or some shit. Like, you got caught. You just got caught like dancing on some kid shit. That's what we all have done. We've done something goofy like that. You either gaming the system or you just being like soft as hell. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm sorry.
This is the
Y'all
first
can hate
time,
me.
and I
Could give a fuck.
I'm just profoundly sorry.
Getting tons of hate as an online child is nothing short of traumatic. And no one can probably relate to this more than Rebecca Black, the singer of the Friday song.
Oh,
This song
man.
became insanely popular in 2011
I
for all of
remember.
the wrong reasons. Rebecca was one of the most hated people on the internet at age 14, and the crazy thing
Wow.
was is that she didn't even write the song herself. Rebecca's mom paid $4,000 to RAK Music to basically write the song and make the music video. ARK was a music label that would write a song, provide a studio, take pictures, and produce a music video all for a couple $1,000s. They
What?
basically did all of the creative effort and the production. And most of their customers were fame-hungry teens who wanted a chance in the spotlight. And of course, Rebecca was one of them. Rebecca liked the song and they shot the music video. It wasn't intended to be some big pop debut, it was just simply a fun music video with her friends.
It was called It's Friday at the time.
She did the whole
and I
thing.
was just like, cute. Okay, whatever. Nobody's gonna see this. Like, let's run it, you know?
In the first month, the video only got 1,000 views, which honestly isn't really that surprising. But a month later, the Tosh.0 website would actually post the music video with the caption, "Songwriting isn't for everybody." Back then, being posted on a website like this was huge, and in 4 days, the music video got over 7 million views. A ton of other YouTubers were making parodies of the song to poke fun at it, but the majority of
parody
attention
era,
would come
bruh.
from real, genuine hate. Rebecca's comments were some of people saying the most vile stuff about a 14-year-old.
You're so fat and you'll never be pretty. You suck at singing. I hope you go die and
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. They're saying mean stuff, but like those first two comments gotta be.
Will come from real, genuine hate. Rebecca's comments were some of people saying the most
They don't
vile
even make sense.
stuff about a 14-year-old.
you're so fat and you'll never be pretty.
I'm not even gonna lie. It's like the interviewers were asking her, "Hey, can you tell us some mean comments?" It's not like they were saying, "Hey, can you read mean comments?" They were said to you. That's
You
kind of
suck at singing. I hope you go die and
The
I
internet.
think you should get an eating disorder because that'll make you prettier.
People would start doxing Rebecca's
like she's
personal
making this
information
up.
like her home address, her school address, even her parents' contact info, which is just weird. People on 4chan even went so far as to set up Operation Black Friday where they were going to literally harass her at her school. Here are some simple
Why?
orders. Start calling the school with all the numbers and tardy bullshit. Fax as many nudes of anything, a girl blowing horse for example, and put Rebecca's name on it. At 1 p.m., DDoS Arc Music Factory. At 3 p.m., start requesting her sorry excuse for her music on the radio. Now
That's
how effective this
weird.
actually was is unclear, but the fact that there were actual plans for this is just outrageous.
Nah, that's weird
But it
as
didn't stop
hell.
there. Rebecca would receive genuine death threats that required the police to get involved. The music video would become one of the most disliked videos of all time. But Rebecca was going to fight back. ARK would offer to take the video down, but she didn't want to give the haters what they wanted. She tried
Facts.
to release an acoustic version of the song so that she could prove to people that she could sing well, and she would also try to do live performances on the late night show, but all of this simply just fueled the hate even more. The negativity put Rebecca to the point of depression. I became
Yeah, I would.
unbelievably depressed and trapped in this body of what I thought the world would see me as forever when I hadn't even finished growing. This stained her life and traumatized her for a really long time. She literally was going through puberty and she was getting death threats for a fucking song that she made for fun. She even had to leave her high school because of all the bullying. However, over time, she would try to make music to become
that
a
sucks.
serious musician. In 2016, her song, The Great Divide, would reach number 23 on the US charts. She was the opening act for the Blackpink tour. She collaborated with big artists like Baby No Money, and she even did her own Boiler Room set where she would premiere an EDM version of Friday. While she wasn't exactly pop's next sensation, she was able to at least get some type of sustainable career from her
that's
pain,
cool, though.
and that can't be said about Alex from Target. Now, Alex
What the fuck? Yo! Yo! Shout out to It's Blanco, bruh. Oh my gosh. This is like a blast from the past. I don't remember. Bro, you're too young if you don't remember Alex from Target. This dude got popular for no freaking reason.
sustainable career from
No
her
reason.
pain,
You
and
got
that
hopefully
can't be said
covers
about
this
Alex
real
from
well.
Target. Now, Alex was just a typical 16-year-old
No reason.
working his side job as a cashier at a Target. When one day, a girl who thought that he was pretty cute took a picture of him when he wasn't looking and posted it on Twitter. This tweet alone would get over 800,000 retweets and would make him a celebrity overnight. And he would be
Crazy.
deemed as Alex from Target. And he didn't even know it. The next day when he went to work, tons of girls were in his checkout line giggling and taking pictures of him. He'd only find out he went viral after his manager showed him the picture. For the rest of that shift,
That's
Alex had to be
crazy.
sent to the stockroom just because it was getting too out of hand. When he went into work that day, he had 144 followers on Twitter, and by the time he left, he had over 100,000 followers.
What the fuck?
Alex from Target became an
For what? Like, what? Can you imagine being born into this life? And you're just thinking, gosh, what shall I do? Like, he's probably not thinking about that. He's probably thinking about some regular, like high schooler stuff. Just for this to fall in his lap. Like, bro,
an internet sensation with people
like that's how people when you get a cut for the first time, that's how you feel. Like when people start coming up to you, like it feels like a line of people lining up just for you.
memeing him and gushing over him at the exact same time. He was the new heartthrob and everyone wanted a piece. He would even make an appearance on Ellen, which got
Did he
over
get a deal with
16
Target for
million
that?
views. And back then, getting on Ellen was a big fucking deal.
Nah, bro, this man got. Look at his fit. He's wearing the uniform. Did he get a deal off
He was
that?
getting advertising deals and agents wanted to meet with him to put him in TV.
Nah, Target should have made him the
in
face.
movies. And on top of that, he was the most popular kid in school with everyone wanting to take pictures of him.
Of
You'd think
course.
that sounds pretty awesome, getting famous for being an attractive guy. I mean, like, who wouldn't want that? But a lot of this was not very glamorous at all. People would leak all of Alex's
Damn, Daniel's gonna be on this list. I'm calling it now.
information
Damn,
and
Daniel.
also his family's. It would go further than just leaking phone numbers and addresses. They would also start to leak their social security numbers and their bank account information. When people saw that Alex had a girlfriend, they would send her tons of death threats.
That's
you can see
tough.
there's a pattern of the whole death threat thing. It got to the point where Alex was literally scared to go outside because of it. But Alex was still trying to bank on the fame. He would tease music, he would go on tour, and also start his YouTube channel. He would start to post frequently and even got over 100,000 subscribers. However,
tough.
he would eventually leave his management because they were acting very shady and apparently stole nearly 30 grand from him. It seemed like the management company was actually the one handling all of the logistics and were actually doing a lot of shady business behind Alex's back. Less than 2 years after he went viral, he would delete his YouTube and all of his social media. It was clear to Alex that he had really no idea how to handle the fame and didn't really know
Stop it.
what to offer this sudden new audience. He was just a regular dude. It's a shame that he wasn't really able to fully monetize off of the
Sterling Knight
monetary opportunities. Where he is now, no one really knows. But unfortunately, we do know the fate of the D's Nuts guy. The only meme bigger than Alex from Target at this time was the D's Nuts meme. This meme was referenced endless times and was one of the most quoted things ever.
Let me hear it.
Nuts. Got him.
Now, the original video was posted by Welvin the Great, and this was when his manager Lefty would just randomly film him doing things and post it on Instagram. He originally went viral for a different video, but it was the D's Nuts video that really skyrocketed him to fame. He became an overnight success, getting over 1 million followers overnight. He was getting recognized everywhere on the streets and beloved by everyone.
Bro, Mystic got jokes? What the bloop?
On the internet.
Dog, and then they playing 2K15. Bro, this video is so dated. Like, I was just thinking that in my head when I seen the Alex from Target, how like the Starbucks coffee sign was. That's like 2010. That's like our 90s. That's gonna be our 90s.
Overnight. He was getting recognized everywhere on the streets and
Mystic
beloved
got
by
jokes.
everyone on the internet. He was hanging out with big celebrities and was even brought out on stage by Kendrick Lamar. This meme literally went so far that a person straight up ran under the name D's Nuts for president and got a 9% approval rating in North Carolina. Welvin would start to cash in on this opportunity by charging $4,500 to $40,000 for club appearances.
Can I ask how much it costs to book Welvin for a walkthrough?
Right now he's at about 4,500.
4,500.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4,500, he'll come through.
Yeah.
He would even drop merch like phone cases, socks, and apparently was even trying to develop an app. He would collaborate with tons of content creators and YouTubers with his signature catchphrase. He would even try to make his own reality show. But the thing is, jokes get old, and the views would start to go down. The ultimate sign of his downfall was when his Instagram account with over 1 million followers was hacked. He would make a new one, but only got a mere fraction of the following that he once had. His manager Lefty would part ways with him, and his 15 minutes was up. And around this time, Welvin would start to drink quite a lot. It would start with him just casually having some beers in an interview, but then it got to the point where he started to dog liquor out in the streets. He would be seen in public drinking very, very often, and unfortunately he would even get randomly harassed and jumped by people on the street. Videos would surface of Welvin being passed out on the street from being so drunk, and it would spark some false rumors that he was dead. There was the speculation that he was homeless because he was always just walking about with no real destination, and he looked like he was barely taking care of himself. But Welvin would confirm that he wasn't homeless and was simply sleeping on the streets out of his own choice.
I'm alive and I'm okay.
He has a family that loves and wants to take care of him, but Welvin chooses to go off for days at a time. He has a home to come to. He comes home, he rests for a couple of days, he go back out in the street. There's nothing nobody can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. We don't want that for him. But this is something that he wants to do.
But Welvin was clearly still in awful shape and has seen much better days. But this doesn't look nearly as bad when you look at John Gabbana, aka Boom Gang. John Gabbana was one of the biggest influencers to come out of the 2018 Cloud Chase era. This was a phase where lots of stars went viral on Instagram for being as chaotic as possible. John was one of the biggest to come out of this era because he was easily the most outrageous. It all started when his friends filmed a video of him going over a counter at Popeyes to steal free food.
Wait for nothing, you feel me? You fix your own motherfucking shit. Remember that shit, you know what I'm saying? Where you going? Take it from us! You don't never wait for their own shit, you feel me? Your own shit. You don't wait for them. They take forever, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait for them. Hey. Boom gang, whole lot of gang shit, you know what I'm saying?
This video got over 1 million views and it would start his signature.
Bro, why does every video get over 1 million views? Like, why is that the exact number?
Where he would just steal random stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Boom gang, whole lot of gang shit. iPhone X's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, hey, he take my motherfucking phone now. Hey, what the fuck? Boom gang, whole lot of gang shit, what the fuck them doing?
Where you going?
How much I owe you? Shit, 25. 20? Yeah, 20. Oh, 25. Yeah. sure.
This nigga that be putting shit
Oh, he broke him
His
off.
signature catchphrase, "Boom Gang Whole Lot of Gang Shit," became a staple across his fans, and pretty soon he would break 1 million followers. With all this literal crime that he was posting, it was a shock that he wasn't arrested, but this would soon happen after he robbed a Dunkin' Donuts. He was given 60 days probation, which he immediately broke and then was arrested again, but this all only further fueled his popularity. But the thing about going viral for crazy antics is that in order to actually keep a fan base, you have to up the ante every single time in order to keep the fans. John would eventually get a lot of crazy tattoos on his face and would deem himself the new Joker. His original Instagram account would get banned for illegal activity, which isn't really too surprising, but he would just start a new one and all of his followers would just follow him on there. He would also start dropping tons of music under the Boom Gang persona on World Star Hip Hop. They weren't good, but like for an Instagram influencer, they did really, really well. But at the same time, Boom Gang was starting to develop a very heavy drug addiction. He was popping pills on the daily, taking them like candy. And his shenanigans were starting to take a real toll on him. At one point when he crashed his car, the very first thing he did was post it all over social media.
Hey, we wrecking cars around here.
His drug addiction would also start to cost him some real opportunities. At one point he had the chance to make a song with Nicki Minaj and Lil Pump, but it was so high that he couldn't make it to the studio. And this would have been a real opportunity for his music. He would even start to appear in interviews high as shit.
How you been, man? A lot has happened since last time we talked.
Chilling.
Okay.
The real sign he had a problem was when he was on No Jumper and fainted mid-interview from just being so faded.
Shout out to the homie Boone.
Look at that goofy smile them boys got. Bro, whatever happened to this guy? Whatever happened to this guy? What's his Kid Boo or some Boo? He was faking like he was in his, like he was 20 something. And he was, bro, he was like 30 something, bro. Where is he now? What's his name again?
Was clearly surrounded by people that did not have his best interests in mind, as he was barely making any of the money. Things would take a real toll after he was arrested in Miami for drug possession and illegal firearms. That same month, he would get banned from Instagram again after posting himself having intercourse. And his following would start to decrease because he wasn't really posting his usual antics anymore. His official rock bottom was a year later when he ran into someone that he owed money to. One thing led to another and he got punched in the face with brass knuckles. This completely broke his jaw and he was in the hospital for weeks. During this time, John reflected on his life with no money, no clout, and no nothing. He would make a complete 180, dedicating his life to Jesus. On social media, he would completely ditch the Boom King persona, only using his real legal name and preaching the word of gospel. And while it's great that he made a change, the fans just weren't really interested. He dropped an album and still tried to produce music videos, but the views were lower than ever. He would even try to box fellow cloud chaser Supreme Patty to try and gain some type of following back, but it completely flopped. It's a shame that he doesn't really have an audience anymore, but at least he made a personal change for the better. But that can't really be said about Lil Tay, who still needs to rely on antics to get views. Lil Tay was also one of the people that blew up during the 2018 Cloud Chasing.
Man, she a fake ass iCarly, bro. I know I ain't the only person thinking that, bro. She the fake iCarly. Fake iCarly.
She got extremely famous after posting tons of videos flexing her fancy cars and big homes.
Message to all y'all broke ass haters. Y'all ain't doing it like Lil Tay. This is why all y'all fucking haters hate me, bitch. This shit cost me $200,000. I'm only 9 years old. I ain't got no license, but I still drive this sports car, bitch. Your favorite rapper ain't even doing it like Lil Tay.
One of the things that also made her go super viral was having a beef with YouTuber Rice Scum. The whole gimmick of this little girl pretending to be this gangster flexer was really entertaining to a lot of people. Her arrogance and cocky attitude was just really, really funny. And her videos got more and more wild on Instagram, which only just got her more and more views. She started hanging out with rappers like Lil Pump, Chief Keef, and even X. And all these antics got her to 2.5 million followers on Instagram. Now, it's obvious that a little girl this age does not have all that type of money. The fancy houses that she flexed actually did not belong to her or her family. They actually belonged to the real estate firm that her mom worked for. She would let her daughter basically film in all these areas for the videos. But the firm did not like these videos at all and actually cost her mom her job. But what most people didn't know is that it was actually Lil Tay's brother who was behind everything. He told Lil Tay what to say, how to say it, and was basically her coach.
Lil Tay be popping on YouTube right now.
You're gonna be like more ignorant. Got to be like, ooh, Lil Tay out here.
While a lot of people could see it as a harmless act for some social media clout, it actually got to the point where a lot of people could describe it as abusive. People who witnessed the behind the scenes of these videos would say that her brother would yell at her when she did not say her lines right and make her cry. It was very obvious that she was being used for clout and money. A couple months later, she would stop posting, and a supposed hacker would post on Instagram claiming that Lil Tay's dad, who was absent and abusive, was now randomly coming back into her life to try and get some of that money. The post also claimed that he was trying to take Lil Tay back to Canada through a court order and even posted a video of her crying about it.
No, you didn't. You literally lived like 6 minutes away, but you never even came to visit me, so you don't even care about me.
This made the dad seem like a bad guy, but there was another side to it. Tay's father claimed that he was trying to help her achieve a professional career rather than have her be seen as an internet clown. He wanted her to possibly have a music career, get her name trademarked, and even set up a trust fund for all of her earnings. Because when Lil Tay was in Los Angeles, she missed 72 days of school, and her mom took tons of meetings and signed contracts on her behalf without her permission. One, he was a scumbag dad, or two, he was actually doing what was best for his daughter.
Two sides to every story.
It kind of seemed like the latter one was more likely. For years, her Instagram was completely silent randomly until 3 years later in 2021. Jason, Lil Tay's brother, would actually post tons of pictures of Lil Tay with bruises, claiming that her dad was abusive to her. Jason claimed that Tay's father was stealing money for her and even had a GoFundMe to raise 150 grand to save her from the abuse. This was seen as pretty skeptical by a lot of the fans because some of Jason's claims were just simply not true. He claimed that Tay's father was using the money to buy fancy trips, but this wasn't really confirmed. People thought that this GoFundMe was one last attempt to make a cash grab from the fame, but this never really was answered for sure and the account would go silent again. But 2 years later, in 2023, randomly her account posted that she had passed away, which was just completely out of nowhere. One side of people completely believed it at face value, but the other people were skeptical because honestly, we were used to this. When doing some digging, there was no official police report on anything being claimed here, and nothing really seemed to confirm this.
Yeah, like, bro, but why even try to post that? Why even try to post that? If it's not true, you don't play with something like that, especially when you're young.
There was no official police report on anything being claimed here, and nothing really seemed to confirm this at all. Tay's family and team would stay extremely silent, which was very suspicious. Eventually, after an entire 24 hours of these rumors circulating, Lil Tay would officially confirm to TMZ that she was alive. She would accuse her dad of spreading the lie, but that was never confirmed. But it was confirmed by Meta themselves that her account was hacked, which raised a lot of questions. Lil Tay would go live on Instagram to reveal the details of the abuse from her dad, showing police reports, text messages, and a lot of other proof. So it did seem like the dad was definitely not nearly as good as he tried to make himself to be. But around the time of all this drama, she would announce the release of her debut song, Sucker for Green, along with a music video. A whole ass music video. Like a very well choreographed music video. Considering this happened so soon after the death hoax, it was really worth considering if they were behind the hoax in some type of way to promote this song. This just all seemed way too coincidental. She disappears for 5 years, and then just randomly at the same time this death hoax is spreading also has a new song to drop. Considering Jason was behind her entire image and also was a credited writer and producer of the song, it didn't seem unlikely. But if it was someone else that for some reason spread this rumor, then it was very obvious that they quickly produced this music video to capitalize off the drama. The truth is just very, very unclear because there's just so many different narratives going around. At one point, Lil Tay even claimed that her dad swatted her house, but there really was no proof of this either. Ricegum himself even revealed that Lil Tay messaged her directly to try and start a fake beef to promote the song. But when I talk about Tay being behind it, I'm not talking about her specifically. I'm talking about her family and her team. This wouldn't really stop there because a year later, Lil Tay's team did a very similar thing where they posted that she was in critical condition, intentionally giving no details about it whatsoever, kinda seeming to draw in mystery and attention around the situation. Eventually, they would reveal that she underwent heart surgery and right after announced the next song that she was dropping. I'm not saying she faked all of this, I don't really think that at all, but it's very obvious they're trying to capitalize off all of this drama for the music. At this point, it's very obviously a pattern. Now, Tay herself definitely should not be blamed in this in any type of way. Tay's brother and mom used it for clout and attention, which clearly divided their family and really robbed her of having a normal childhood. It's messed up, and who knows how it will affect her when she's grown and really reflects on all of this. But if we are going to talk about people that do deserve their failure, then we have to mention the Island Boys, who at this point...
Bruh, I'm not even gonna lie, how many times have I freaking reacted to them on this channel? Like,
are beyond
at this point,
desperate. Now, the Island Boys went viral back in 2021 for their rap performance.
Cause I'm an island boy, and I've been trying to make. Oh, I'm an island boy. I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island boy. I'ma get key white wine. You're gonna keep that gun. I'll be just staring at the sun. I'm just out fool gazing. I'm like, pool where I'm staying.
This video went viral all over Twitter and on TikTok and became a giant meme. Because honestly, people were laughing at them and not with them. People were making fun of just how awful their singing was, the stupidity of their lyrics, and their very, very dumb appearance. It was really a trend for a while to dress just like them and mock the Island Boys. It was a very easy way to get views. But hey, all attention is good attention, right? Because it excelled them into internet stardom. They got tons of followers on their TikTok and on their Instagrams, and they capitalized on the moment like crazy by posting a shit ton. In interviews, they claimed that they were making tens of thousands of dollars a day. Now, it's very likely they were making this type of cash because they were buying tons of stuff like jewelry, cars, the whole kin caboodle. They were spending that money like it was no tomorrow. They even got a label deal from Kodak Black, which is absolutely insane. However, they would turn it down to stay independent, which would have been a very smart business move because they were going extremely viral, but there was just one problem. They had no fucking talent. The thing is, the Island Boys just straight up were not listenable. Like, when I say they have no talent, like, they can't even rap on the beat. They literally had nothing to offer their fans in terms of quality, and nothing showcases more than when they did their first ever live performance and got booed off stage.
And I'm just trying to make it, or I'm an island boy. I put my best down, yeah. Hey, I'm an island boy. I'm an island boy. I'm gonna keep it like it's all one.
But you know what's the gag though? Like, people think the gag is because they're white, when really the gag is, this is exactly how everybody looks. This is exactly how all the rappers look. They all look like this. Literally, they all look like this. Just shed their skin and everything. If you give them a black skin, bro, it's no different. It's dead ass no different. The only difference is there's no record label that's pushing behind them and doing all the extra stuff. Like, come on, you think if a record label didn't want to, bro, they can go and grab these goofy kids, put some beats, dress them up, not like, you know what I mean? Like, they know how to dress it up now.
Keep that going. I'm gonna do it while I'm staring at the sun. I've been really at the fool gazing and the pool where I'm staying.
They were a meme, but everyone seemed to know this except them, because clearly the fame got to their head. They got a shit ton of hate after they went on Logan Paul's podcast where George tried to give them some financial advice, but they got super cocky and walked out mid-interview.
For real, I think you guys take all of your jewelry assets and invest it in something, so you guys will never ever be broke again. So I don't think there's ever gonna be a broke situation.
One, let me tell you something. George, stop talking. We have multiple.
Wait, that was.
Yeah.
Hey, that was for you guys.
Yeah, you
that wasn't like a hate shot.
I don't need financial advice.
we don't
when
need
I probably
financial
make more money
advice
than you.
No, here, I'm moving for you. I was giving you nice advice, bro.
I agree with that.
Did I say anything mean?
You fucked up, George. Our first guest to walk. Dumbass.
This pretty much spoke for itself because in a matter of months,
Bro,
their
blow
career
your
already
nose,
started
bro.
to fizzle out. And already they were starting to get desperate, which showed they had money issues. They launched a Cameo, which is an app where you can send personalized messages. And at first this was a pretty decent move because it did get them quite a lot of money, and this was their main source of income. And the problem with the Island Boys wasn't so much that their fame was on borrowed time, it's the fact that they were just very irresponsible with their money. They were spending—
Bro, they're clearly just wigged out too. Like, if you look at them,
This was their main source of income.
Junkied out kids.
And the problem with the Island Boys wasn't so much that their fame was on borrowed time, it's the fact that they were just very irresponsible with their money. They were spending way more than what they were making, which isn't sustainable no matter what you're doing. They should have known that this whole entire internet lifestyle was not going to last because, again, they were a meme. If they had slowed down to budget wisely and put a lot into savings and investments, then they would not be in the situation that they currently were in. But they were getting so used to spending it on all of the fancy luxury and they didn't want to give it up. And so their desperation reached an all-time high when they literally posted a video of themselves kissing. I'm going to censor it because I'm not going to show you all that. I think you get the idea. But they announced that they were going to drop a tape together, and God, I really wish I was talking about music. Because what they were doing quite literally is incest. They would drop an entire OF for the specific type of genre, which was just so beyond fucking gross, but apparently it did make them some cash, which I honestly am very ashamed to say. And the desperation just didn't stop there. They would start hanging out with Jack Doherty and causing tons of drama for views, and honestly, the only reason that anyone hangs out with that guy is literally because they have no other content creators to collab with.
Nice fucking try, dumbass. Nice try. What's good? What's good? Hey, God with me around. What's good? Hey, we're not. Nobody fight. Nobody fight. Nobody fight. Yo, nobody fight.
Oh, he's kicking.
They had all of these fights and arguments that were very obviously staged for attention and views. But their money issues just still kept on piling up. One of the brothers, Kodiak Red, had many issues with the law. He was facing charges of domestic abuse to his girlfriend, battery against his brother's girlfriend, and domestic battery towards his other girlfriend. In February 2025, he was arrested during a traffic
How they
stop.
be getting girlfriends, bruh? Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be for real. You know you can't start over? You know you can't just start over, right? I hope somebody told you that when you first got these. Like, you got the Atlanta Hawks on your face, right? What is that, Chrome Hearts? I know these hurt, the eerily. Like, what are you doing? Stunner, power, money. Like, this is so goofy.
Up for possession of substances and for possibly trying to sell a firearm. The other brother, Fly Soldier, claimed that he was nearly 4 months behind on car payments and was getting evicted from his place.
Yeah, this dude finished.
Which was affecting his credit. Kodiak Red denied this, but at the same time, he was still begging for housewarming gifts. So it's obvious that their financial situation is still in the shitter and they're desperately trying to pretend it's not. And it's just simply another case of getting famous way too fast. But if we're gonna talk about lives that were destroyed by going viral, we simply cannot leave out Haley Welch, the Hawk Tuah girl, a story that we all know too well. Haley Welch was just your average girl from the South who was partying with her friends in downtown Nashville. YouTubers Tim and Dee were doing some interviews on the street and wanted to get some funny clips for their channel. They stumbled upon Haley and history would be made.
You know how to answer this. You got it.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
They posted a clip on Instagram where it went crazy viral. This meme became an overnight sensation and everyone had it become their new favorite catchphrase. People just couldn't get enough of it and everyone was dying to know who exactly was the Hawk Tuah girl. Funny enough, Haley actually completely avoided the fame at first. She deactivated her Instagram and was extremely low-key. The first week of it, I was so embarrassed. I wouldn't come out of my house. I went to work, but that's about it. But then, she saw people selling Hawk Tuah merch and saw they were making a ton of money off of it and wanted in on some of that cash. She was seen with a local seller on Facebook selling Hawk Tuah hats and signing them personally, all of which sold out immediately. Haley would get more and more in the public eye, being spotted hanging out with Shaq and then going on stage with Zach Bryan. She would do her first ever actual interview revealing that she quit her job and got a whole management team behind her.
I don't quit my job. I said peace.
So now is like you're gonna go to LA, you're gonna go to New York.
Oh yeah.
Do you think you see yourself like starting your own type of like show or podcast, or are you just gonna be like an internet personality?
I think we're gonna do like a show and then we're just gonna be like on a bunch of podcasts and everything else in between.
Cool. So kind of just figuring out as you go.
Oh yeah, there's more to come. Don't worry.
Now Haley had a mixed reception when she came into the spotlight. One side of people really liked her personality. She was this sweet, down-to-earth Southern girl who honestly had a lot of charm and charisma. She got along with everybody that she met and was extremely polite. And honestly, people liked that. She wasn't a cocky, arrogant person who was letting the fame get to her head. But on the other hand, there were tons of people who were flabbergasted over the idea of a girl who made a joke about spitting on cock suddenly becoming a famous person. But let's be
gosh. That's hilarious as hell, bro. Holy shit. Gosh. It's the delivery. It caught me off guard. I didn't expect
was letting the fame get to her head. But on the other hand, there were tons of people who were flabbergasted over the idea of a girl who made a joke about spitting on cock suddenly becoming a famous person. But let's be real, a lot of those people were just secretly jealous of her. Because who would not want to capitalize on all of this? And after all, it was possible to make this some sort of real thing. After all, Danielle Bregoli got famous off of her appearance on Dr. Phil and then suddenly became a giant musician selling millions of records. There was a very weird conspiracy that she was the daughter of an Israeli billionaire and then was here as a spy, as a psyop, after it was revealed that she actually was 99% Ashkenazi Jew. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But to capitalize on her audience, she would start to post a lot more videos and vlogs on her Instagram and Twitter. And this helped her move in the right direction. She would also start to do tons of interviews to really have the public get a good sense of her. But then she would shock the world when she would announce that she was dropping her own podcast, Talk Tua. And at first this sounded extremely dumb because honestly, it kinda was. This girl got famous for a 15-second clip that honestly was overused, and now she was expecting people to listen to hour-long conversations of her repeatedly. The podcast would get tons of genuine hate, but also did get popular at the same time. She got tons of pretty big guests like Jake Paul, Wiz Khalifa, Whitney Cummings, and more. The podcast would become a giant meme with people ironically listening to it and treating it like as if it was the word of gospel. Well, unironically, this made the podcast
I don't believe. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe none of that, bro. I think it was just a joke. I think it was a running joke.
Treating it like as if it was the word of gospel. Well, unironically, this made the podcast super popular, getting millions of views on YouTube and becoming number 3 on the Spotify podcast charts. Yes, it was a joke, but the money certainly was not a joke. It seemed like everything was going great, and then it wasn't. Because in November, Haley would announce the official launch of her meme coin. Off the rip, people obviously suspected that it was some sort of scam, but the token was promoted as embracing the community. Haley would promote this coin non-stop throughout Twitter, really hyping up the drop. And when it did drop on December 4th, it skyrocketed nearly 900% in value, having a market cap of nearly $500 million. But then, immediately after, it completely dropped all the way down to a market cap of $60 million. So what the fuck happened? People immediately threw accusations of it being a rug pull, and there was evidence to back it up. Looking at the chains, just 97% of all the tokens were controlled by just 10 wallets, with only 3% available for public sale. 285 investors joined the pre-sale, and 53% sold all or part of the share of tokens owned immediately, pocketing an estimated $3 million, which just completely reeks of a scam. Immediately after, Haley tried to blame this on sniper bots, and her team was just straight up gaslighting the public. And of course, CoffeeZilla, the king of exposing crypto scams, would make his own video completely dissecting this.
I've been tracing it on chain for a while. You guys generated over $1 million in fees while y'all's fans got rug pulled. There was snipers, but there was also insider trading directly linked to y'all's creator account. What are you guys doing?
No, that's not true.
That is true. That's a fact.
No, it's not.
Well, it's a fact, and you can see it on chain.
His video alone got 5 million views. Haley would go silent for 2 weeks, which just skyrocketed suspicion. And she would eventually address the matter on Twitter. I take this matter extremely seriously and want to address my fans.
Bro, I'm gonna say, yo, it's Blanco. You need to hit me, bro. I'm gonna buy you a handkerchief or some shit. Cause like the way you need to blow your nose in each video is ridiculous.
The investors who have...
You need to go hit up Downey for a sponsorship or whatever the tissue paper thing is. You know, the one, Charmin?
Been affected and the broader community. I am fully cooperating with and am committed to assisting the legal team representing the individuals impacted, as well as to help uncover the truth, hold the responsible parties accountable, and resolve this matter. If you have experienced losses related to this, please contact Berwick Law. Okay, to be honest, if you do put your money in something called the Talk To a token, you low-key deserve to lose it, not gonna lie. But this kind of was what Haley's team was banking on, because they were really trying to target people who were stupid enough to fall for this. Granted, Haley probably had no idea what was going on, and this was was definitely being done by her team for the most part, but this project was under her name. She allowed it to happen and really should have taken a lot more precaution as to who to work with. The team behind the coin pretty soon was hit with a lawsuit for illegally selling and promoting the coin, which was allegedly not a registered security. Haley was not named in a lawsuit, but this absolutely obliterated her reputation. For months, she completely laid low from social media, trying to let this drama blow over all by itself, which honestly was not a great idea. A couple months later, she was suspended from Twitter, and she would make an apology on the situation through her talk to a podcast, but she did the whole fake cry influencer thing. And this apology was not meant well, and it basically just completely threw out whatever she had left of her fame. She would try to return back to the podcast, but would get a mere fraction of the views, even when she got appearances from KSI. It just goes to show that quick money is not the best way to try and get money, and all fame is not good fame.
Yo, so what he tried to say in short is what I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Slow motion is better than no motion. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's never gonna feel like it's easy, but what would life be without, you know, some hardship? Now, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, niece, nephew. You know what to do, man. It's your Uncle Lou. This was a great video by It's Blanco. And if you want to see more like this one, make sure you comment down below on what you want me to react to, because you never know. It could be something that you put me onto. Niece, nephew. It's your Uncle Lulu, and I appreciate you.